Let's start. Once again, I am Ram. I have total 8 years of experience into Microsoft technologies. I worked on my complete career into Microsoft technologies. I started my career in .NET and then SharePoint, and then I started working on ERP, Microsoft Dynamics ERP. I worked on AX 2012, and currently I am a D365 Finance and Operations Solution Architect. I have total 18 years of experience. Okay, I hope people are aware why you have joined this demo. It's about a D365 Finance and Operations Technical. Okay, so we'll go through it. What is D365 Finance and Operations deal with, and to which type of organizations it will use, and what type of career opportunities you will have technically and functionally, and then you'll see how can we create our own environments to practice, then what are the different topics I'm going to cover and all we are going to see in this demo session. Okay, let me quickly share my screen. You people are able to hear me clearly. If there is any deviation, please let me know so that we can correct it.
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah, thank you.
Ram, your voice is little low. So
Is it clear now?
yeah, fine. Like it is low in the starting. Now it is fine. Yeah, thank you. Please
Okay.
continue.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Past 30 to 40 minutes, I'm going to cover what is this session about and what we are going to cover in the next 45 days to 50 days and all. And then later you can ask questions. In between, if it is required, you can ask questions, but you try to save your questions at the end because if the flow stops in between, it will be difficult to others as well. So questions at the end. Okay, I'm sharing my screen. I hope you people are able to see my screen. Okay, T365 Finance and Operations. Nowadays we calling it as SCM also. Okay, finance and SCM separate things, but we have different modules that is only related to the functional people. Okay, forgot about this one. We call it, sometimes we call it as SCM, sometimes we call it as D365 Finance and Operations. We, based on the modules and all, we will differentiate it. That is for the functional guys. So normally D365 Finance and Operations is an ERP system. Okay. Can somebody answer what is meant by an ERP? This is an ERP system.
Enterprise
Enterprise
resource plan.
Resource
Resource
Plan.
plan.
Okay. You people know, right, what is meant by an enterprise? The enterprise in any organization. Okay, it can be any organization. Enterprise means it can be any organization. It can deal with multiple things. For example, if you take automobile industry, okay, Maruti is an organization. It will deal with the car sale and service and all those things, right? Okay. Uh, in Maruti, if you see from manufacturing to complete process till sales, everything will be organized by Maruti, right? That is an enterprise organization for maintaining all the resources. Resources can be like their employees, whatever the products they are manufacturing, what is the raw material they are buying, and sales, everything will come under the resources. So they have to plan everything and they have to maintain. For this, we call it as ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning System. Okay, there are multiple ERP systems in the market. Uh, Apart from this AX, Dynamics AX, we call it as previously. Now we are calling it as D365. Microsoft has grouped into the Dynamics umbrella. Under that, you'll have CRM. Now it is calling as sales. So business central, everything, lot of systems are there. They grouped into the D365 umbrella, and then we call it. Under that, we have D365 finance and operations. While explaining history, I will come to that. What are the different versions previously and all. So Dynamics AX is one of the ERP systems. Other than that, we have SAP, we have Oracle apps, we have PeopleSoft. Okay. These are the different systems available. Even in Dynamics AX also we have Navision and all. Those will be used for the some small scale industries. It will be used. Okay, this is the ERP system about. So, for example, if you want to maintain your organization things, everything, ERP system, it is built already. Okay, built by different systems. SAP is one of the thing, and our Dynamics AX is one of the thing. Oracle apps, PeopleSoft. The minimal things like whatever the accounting or financing, or for example, if you are manufacturing something, what are the products, and how you maintain your projects, and even HR module, how you maintain your manpower. Everything will be under different modules, and it is built already. So this is a product. It is a just. So we are not going to build newly anything here. Okay, like for example, if you take some .NET or Java projects, they will build new things, like for example, some website they are designing or some product they are doing. What they will do is they will create the new products. Here the product is already exist. Okay, whatever the common things, general things are there, it is already built, and this is a product, and based on this product. So then if it is already built, what is the need of learning this? Okay, here two things. One is functional. Functional is what we'll do is how the system will work, and what are the setups, what are the configurations required to do the specific to the particular organization. They will learn. Okay, if you know how the system will work, you can configure it. For example, if you are doing some accounting process, in accounting process you need to do the debit and credit process. So for each and everything, whatever, wherever you are paying or wherever you are getting the money, you need to do some transactions. So to configure those accounts and financial things, creating legal entities and everything will be maintained by the functional guys. Those we call it as business analysts. So 100% of the time they will work with the application. Okay, how application look like, and we will see. The 100% they will work with the application. Those we call it as business analysts. They are the initial guys. From the requirement stage onwards, they will discuss and they will do the fit gap analysis and all. What is meant by fit gap analysis and all, I will explain in the actual sections. Okay, and then second one is technical. This is the one we are going to learn in this course. Okay, this is the technical guys. In technical, we will have the technical analysts, and then we will have the technical leads, and then we will have the architect. Okay, like this, you will have different roles based on the experience. Okay, so fit gap analysis will be done by business analysts. Once you come into the architect or lead role, you will slowly convert into the both techno-functional, we call it as. So you will have the knowledge on both technically as well as technically. Initial stages, only technical guys will have the technical knowledge. So how can we customize the things and all? You will have the knowledge. If something related to the business process or something, business analyst will take care, and they will test the system, and whatever the changes you are doing, they will do the testing, and they will explain the things what they required and all. Later, once you come into the lead or architect stage, you should have the knowledge on the both the functional as well as the technical side. Functional side, you don't need to understand 100%, because there will be a business analyst also. They will do the, if you want to do be a solution architect or something, you should have the technical knowledge, both technical and functional knowledge, because you need to do the fit gap analysis, and you need to do the architecture for the systems. Okay, what is the need of architecture? This is a product, right, already available. So each and every system, it will not work for the on the data available in that system only. Okay, they have to connect to the different systems. For example, you are doing your D365 finance and operations. Marty is doing it, right? They are paying a lot of GST and all, right? So if they want to maintain those GST and all those details on some taxation side, they will have some third-party taxation systems. So if the data has to flow between these two systems, we need to create some integrations. So for that integrations and that type of things, third-party systems you need to connect. How can we connect, and what are the best ways to connect? For example, if you have lakhs of records every day, you are getting the flow between the third-party systems. How can we design? How can we design to not hit the performance and all those things? Will be taken care in the solution architect designing. Okay, this is the technical side. We will have the analyst and the lead and architect. After that, if you have both like functional and technical knowledge, you will go to the solution architect. So coming to the history of the system, first AX 2009 is there. Okay, previously it was some Marpex system is there. Microsoft has bought that company and they have released the AX 2009. Here the development system is Marpex. Whatever the tool we are going to develop, we call it as the tool Marpex. Later, Microsoft has released AX 2012. In 2012, we have R1, R2, and R3. Okay. Coming to these two systems, these two are desktop applications. Okay. What is meant by a desktop application? See, we have the desktop applications and web applications concept. I think you people has learned in your academics. Okay, even though I will explain briefly. Desktop applications means that is a Windows application. For example, if you take this OneNote I am installing in my system and opening from my system. Okay. If you take Gmail, what you are doing, you are simply typing your simply typing your URL and you are opening the application, right? Okay. These two are desktop applications. We need to have a server and a client concept. We'll have the server and client will be installed on the every user desktop, and they have to connect to the open the client, and the client will be connected to the server, and data will be flow between the server and the client. These two are desktop applications. Later, Microsoft has came up and completely they have moved their architecture to the Azure cloud. Okay. From later they have released AX7. Okay. After that they have all the applications, like they have CRM, uh, Salesforce, and all different applications are there, Business Central and everything. What they came up with, they have grouped all these applications into D365. Okay. Under this, you will have a lot of applications. Our D365 from 8.0, and then they have directly released 10. Now it's like 10.36, I think. Okay. Every 2 months they are releasing it. How the upgrade process will happen and everything, I will explain in the actual classes. Previously, we used to have whatever the like customers are there. If they want to upgrade, they will upgrade. For example, if you take AX 2012 and all, they have released 3 versions, right? Even if you release R3 also, people are still using AX 2012 R1. Okay. Now Microsoft has made mandatory to upgrade. Okay. Even in our phones also, we are getting upgrades, right? If you are Android, okay, we will get the upgrades, and we will do the update, and it will update. There will be some new features will be added. Okay, some security related patches will be added. Actually, till 8.0 and even in early 10 also, what they used to do is they used to release some patches, and we used to install those model patches. But now Microsoft has given some upgrade process. That upgrade process will follow, and if people are able to follow, right? I'm continuously speaking. Can somebody acknowledge?
Yes, yes, I can able to
Yeah.
follow.
Just to get clarification, this is online section, right? So we don't know in between something, Mr. Okay. 10.36 is the latest version. Every 2 months, Microsoft is releasing one version. Okay. But yearly, we need to compulsory upgrade at least 2 upgrades we need to do. Okay, that is the minimum thing every customer has to follow. Otherwise, Microsoft will stop the support for them. So mandatorily, they are insisting it. So even previously in AX 2012 and 2009, this is desktop applications, right? If you want to upgrade and all, you need to manually install everything and all. Here we have automatic upgrade process. This is everything is cloud, right? We are creating our environments also on the cloud. Okay, production environment, UAT, test, each and every element. What is production and all, I will explain in the coming. Okay, everything we will do it from the through cloud only. Okay, you don't need to install anything. You don't need to maintain any servers and all. So everything cloud will be maintained at the cloud level. Microsoft will be maintained. We can access it, and we can, based on our requirement, we can customize the things and all. Okay, coming to the environment. Here D365 Finance, and if it is a functional guys, they can directly access the URL by using the browser. Okay, they will simply type the URL and they will get the application. Okay, they will access it, and there we will have the user session and all that we will discuss. How can we create the users, and how can we access the application and all, we will discuss in the coming sessions. That is the application. Functional guys will access. As a technical guys, we need to access the code internally. So whatever the Microsoft has developed, that is under sys layer. We will come to the layers and all in the actual session. That code we need to access, and we need to customize according to our requirement. For example, we are maintaining customers. Okay, for customers, we are maintaining some separate field or something specific to our organization. Microsoft will normally give what customer ID. Microsoft will normally give in the cust table, cust account we call it as. Okay, if you are adding some additional fields related to the customer or something, so we need to add additional fields to the table, and that field has to be added to the form. We call it as form at the application level. Whatever the customer is form is there we need to show that field, and user will enter that specific value. Based on that, something we need to calculate. Those things we will do it. That is the technical guys responsibility. Whatever the module it may be, everywhere it will be the same thing. You will have the table, you will have the form. For tables, you will have the relations, indexes. Okay, that I will explain in the actual sections. So the technical guys, what they will do is backend, whatever the requirements required, like if you want to add the new field, or if you want to create a new report to the users. Whatever the existing reports are not sufficient, or not giving the full-fledged information to the user, they want some customized reports. We can customize the existing report and add new fields, or delete some of the fields which are not required. Or you can create a new report we can create for the specific to that organization. Okay, we can create new forms. For example, if you are a technical, you are working for some ISV, independent software vendor, we call it as. You can create your own module and you can sell it. For example, India we have GST, right? Some taxation process or something internally it has to calculate automatically. As a independent software vendor, you can create your own module and sell it to the Microsoft, and or you can sell it to your directly customers. On top of that, that can be installed, and customer can use it. You will support if there is any changes required to the to specific customer, or if there is any issues in that particular module. You will work directly with the customer. Okay, it is not only the The technical people will do only the product customization. You can create your own modules, and you can your company can sell it to the other customers based on the Microsoft approval. Okay, Microsoft partners are there, even in large companies like Accenture, Capgemini. So we are dealing with Microsoft. They will create their own ISVs or products. On top of that, they will sell that particular product to the customers based on their requirement. Okay, that type of customization also you can do. Okay, whatever you want to touch, like background, we call it as front end and back end, right? Front end means application. Back end, you will have the how the architecture will be. I will show it to you now. Okay, we'll see the PPT. There you can understand how D365 finance and operations architecture will look like. As I mentioned, it is a cloud application, right? So this is the finance and operations application. This is tightly connected with the Microsoft Azure Active Directory. Okay, without Microsoft Azure Active Directory, you will not be able to connect to this finance and operations application. How can we create the Active Directory, Azure Active Directory, and how can we create the users and how to add that to the application and all? We will learn in the actual sessions. Okay, previously we used Windows Server Active Directory. Okay, servers will be installed on our machines, and those servers on top of that will create the Windows Active Directory and all. This will be directly merged to this Azure Active Directory. Then only you can add the users to the finance and operations application. Okay, this is with respect to the our technical. Okay, here we will have the Microsoft Office 365 Admin Center. This will be maintained for the users and giving access and all. How to maintain this Active Directory and all. Coming to this lifecycle services, LCS we call it as. This will be used to create our new environments. Okay, for production, UAT, testing, and our development environments, and everything will be created by using this LCS, lifecycle services. This is tightly integrated with Azure Active Directory. Okay, by using your Azure Active Directory user only, you log into this LCS. Here we will create the project, specific project. Under that project, we can create our environments. And for example, if you do some customization on top of the existing product, so you did your customizations in your development environment. For example, I have created one new field in my existing table, custom table. I added the field, and same field is added to the form level. I have customized the existing customer form. I added the field. Okay, these changes I did in my development environment. Now I want to move those changes to the testing environment. So how will you do that? That we call it as deployment, package creation and deployment. How you will do is through LCS. You can do it. In between, we'll have the DevOps process, Visual Studio Team Services, VSTS. You are calling it as. Nowadays, people have legend the word called DevOps. Okay, development operations. Okay, those things will be the DevOps process also will connect. We can connect to the LCS, so we can automate the build process as well. Okay, so if you give some time every day, you need to deploy to the test environment. Whatever the changes are happened in the dev and checked in, those changes has to go to the test environment every night, like that. You can automate that build process. Previously, if you are in X 2012, if you want to deploy something, you need to do it manually only. You need to create the package, and that package model has to be installed on the different environments like test, UAT, and production. Here you can simply do it in a few clicks. You can automate the build process, and even deployment process also. You can automate it. On that specific time, it will automatically deploy the specific package. Okay, that we can automate it through LCS. This VSTS, if some people, if you are working previously on .NET or something, you use it to do check-in and check-out process, right? Code, we can add it to the VSTS, Visual Studio Source Safe, we call it as. Okay, that check-in and check-out process, we can connect to the DevOps branches. We will create some different branches in DevOps. That will also be covered in this course. How can we create the new branch, and how can we check in and check out the process, and how can we create a build package. Okay, deployment, how can we do it? I will explain manually how can we will do it, but we will not have the Azure thing to deploy and show it all. But I will show how can we do those things, and how can we maintain the environments and all. Okay, these are the different things involved. These are related to the Microsoft technologies only. Okay, these are the different things involved. So we need to have the Microsoft Azure Active Directory, and this admin center will be. So these will be. So don't think like we have to maintain all these things. These things will be maintained by admin people. Okay, creating a new user and creating Active Directory and all those things. We will maintain only these finance and operations applications. We will customize it. Okay, we will connect to the lifecycle services. Like even in lifecycle services also, if you are a lead experienced guy, you will maintain this LCS. Okay, like creating new environments, or like creating packages, deploying the package, those things, and maintaining the upgrades and all. Even upgrade also, we will deploy the package only. Microsoft will provide that package. We will apply that package to the specific environment wherever is required. Okay. And then VSTS also, the admin people will create those VSTS. They will provide the server details. We will just connect by using this finance and operations application. Okay, coming to the specific to this finance and operation application, if we come here, this is the application stack and server architecture related to the D365 finance and operations. This is the server architecture. In server, what we will have, by using this WCF, Windows Communication Foundation, UI interaction will be there, and OData endpoints. What is meant by OData and all, we will come into the actual system, and we will have the forms engine. And here we'll have the metadata and security related roles and all. Caches. Cache means it will maintain the temporary memory, that we will come to that. Workflows, batches, and everything. In between, you will have the data access layer, and you will have a separate database, and we can see the database also, how it is maintaining the data and all, everything we can see it by connecting to the specific database. And you'll have some secondary databases for the SSRS reports and uh, for the data store and all, that we will see. Those are read-only databases. We can see it. Coming to this finance and operations application stack, we'll have the different models. We call it as fleet management and application suite. We call it as, these are all the models. We'll have the application foundation and application platform. By using these models, we'll create our own model. Okay. For example, if you are working for the Maruti company, we'll create our own model called Maruti, name it, and whatever the objects we are customizing it, and whatever the objects we are creating newly, those will come under the Maruti model. Okay, like that we will maintain. How can we maintain and all, we will see. And coming to development environment, what are the different things you will have in the development environments? As I mentioned, you will have the different services. Okay, storage service, server service, and all. How can we stop those services, and how can we start those services, and when it will stop and when it will start, those things we will discuss in the actual sections. This is the cloud instance. If you want to deploy, we will do it by using the LCS. For that, you need to create the model binaries and all. Package means it will create the binaries. Okay, you will have metadata APIs and all. How by using those APIs, you will connect to the Visual Studio. Yeah, previously I mentioned, right. Here, here it is Morpex I mentioned, right? For AX20, 2009 and AX2012. In D365 Finance and Operations, we are going to use the Visual Studio. Okay. On top of the Visual Studio, an add-in will be installed, D365 add-in. Okay. By using that add-in, we will access all these things. Okay. This is the application stack. It will be look like. We will use a language called X++. Okay. We will use a language called X++. In X++, we will learn how can we create a variable, how can we write the if conditions, for loops, and we have one more concept called object-oriented programming. Okay, OOPS concepts. I think you people have learned already in your academics. So I will cover these OOPS concepts also. Okay, because in this D365 finance and operations, we have the object-oriented program concept. X++ will support the object-oriented programming. So how extent it will support and how to do the encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, and all those things, you'll see practically by creating the different classes and different objects. You'll see. Apart from that, we'll have the reporting. So every system, as it is an enterprise resource planning, reporting is one of the important things. Microsoft has given the SSRS reports inbuilt, okay, and we can do the Power BI reports also, okay. So these two things I will explain. Power BI reports, I will show one or two sample reports. How can we connect to the D365 finance and operations entities, and how will you? It will not cover completely like Power BI, but how can you connect and how can you create a simple reports? I will cover Power BI as well. Reports will cover completely, like whatever the existing reports are there, how can you customize those existing reports, and if, by creating the new report, how can you create it and how can you deploy that report to the application, and how can you show it that specific report on the application level, and all it will be covered. Okay, coming to the environments here, as I mentioned, I have shown the development environment, right? We have different types of environments: tier 1, tier 2, and then EAT and production. Okay. Tier 1 means our dev environments, and then tier 2 will have test and all. Okay. In dev environments, we will have the Visual Studio installed, and we will have the local database. Okay. Database server will be installed, and whatever the database AXDB database will be there, the database will be installed locally, and in dev mission itself it will be available. You can directly connect to that particular specific data, the server, and you can see all the data related to it, whatever is available at the database level. Even in test environment also, you can connect locally only. Coming to the EAT and production environments, database is not installed locally. It is the Azure database. Okay, application will be connected to the Azure database, and complete database will be at the Azure level. Even for production also, you will not have access to this production database. At least for EAT, you can connect by using Azure credentials. But production, Microsoft will not give any access to this database. If there is any changes or any queries, if you want to execute to correct the data or something, first you need to test everything at your EAT database level, and you need to raise a request to the Microsoft. Microsoft will do the changes on behalf of us by verifying all those SQL statements. Okay, that is the one thing. Like these are the environment level. So how to create a development environment? Previously I mentioned like Azure, right? We need to create through LCS and all. Now, if you want to create through LCS, you need to have the Azure subscription. That is, again, you need to buy it. That is involves pricing. Okay. So, is there any possibility for learning purpose you can create your own development environment, and for practice purpose you can do it? Yes, we have the option. Okay, Microsoft is giving an option to download the virtual machine. Okay, we call it as virtual machine. I think you people have heard. So this virtual machines, what Microsoft is giving is they will give some files, we can install it. Automatically everything is available. It is a plug and play kind of thing. You can simply install it. Okay, you'll have the virtual machine. You can configure it in your laptop. You can open that virtual machine. It is default installed with server, and on top of the D365 finance and operations, and everything will be installed, database and everything will be there. By using that environments, you can practice it, and whatever the things we are covering in your classes every day, you can practice it by using that virtual machine. So this virtual machine, how can you download it? How to create Azure Active Directory, and how can you connect to the LCS? how can you connect to the DevOps by using this virtual machine, and all will be covered. Okay. So initial classes, I will explain how you can download the virtual machine from the LCS. How can you create your Azure account for downloading that virtual machine files, and how can you install it? How to set up the virtual machine. Okay. But for practice purpose, you have to have the system or laptop minimum i5 16 GB RAM. Why it is taking more RAM is, on top of your Windows 11 or Windows 10, you are running one more virtual machine. Okay, so we need to share this RAM with the two systems. Okay, either you can connect by using the dual mode also. That I will explain how can we configure the dual mode and all those things. Okay, but minimum 16 GB RAM is required. If you have more than that, also that will be good, like 24 GB, something like that. So your system performance will be good. But minimum 16 GB RAM is required. And if it is better, if you have the SSD, so that you can have the performance, SSD minimum 250 GB is required. So we'll have around 100 GB files once you install the virtual machine into our system. So minimum 250 GB RAM is required. In this already 50 GB will be go through your operating system and all, right. So after that we have to have the memory around 100 GB for the virtual machine, and on top of that you'll do the customizations and all those things. At least it will take another 10 to 15 GB. So these are the system requirements. For your practice purpose, if you have this type of system, so how to download and how can you create it and all those things I will explain. And there is one more option also. You can access the Microsoft virtual machine, but that is every 2 hours it will reset. Whatever the changes you did those 2 hours, it will not be available. Okay. So every 2 hours it will reset. Microsoft is giving for the accessing that and checking the if there is application and all, if there is any like standard behavior, how it is behaving and all. Microsoft is giving that environment. That is also a permission, but you can directly access through URL. How can you access and all that I will explain in the actual sections. But that will be available for only 2 hours, and whatever the changes you've done for the 2 hours, it will be not available in the next instance, because instance will be automatically put. And again, if you trying to access the new instance, it will give the new instance, and whatever the changes you did it previously, it will not be available. It will be again press standard
How long will
environment.
be the virtual machine?
That will be 2 hours only. Online one.
No, 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 no. When we download the
Online one.
virtual machine, right?
That will be like 6 months you can use it, and after that you
Okay.
have an option to extend also. 180 days initially it will give. After that you have
Oh,
an option to extend as well.
okay.
Okay. Yeah, that is the environment side. And apart from that, what are the topics I'm going to cover? I will show you the Word file. And if you need this file, I think Visualpath people can help you. You can ask them; they will share these things. Okay. Introduction, architecture, and comparison of D365 to AX. These things will be in the complete course. So whatever the topic I'm going to explain, how it will be in the previous versions, I will explain. Okay, this one also. And what is the cloud models? Will have SaaS, all those things, and what is the pros and cons? I will explain. And the introduction to Azure, and how can you create your Azure Active Directory user, and how can you connect to the LCS and all. And what is the three-tier application? I will explain. In specific to the dev environment, I will explain. And licensing model, what are the different licenses available? And application explorer, we will have the application explorer to access the objects, existing objects and all. So how it will look, these things, model management, how to create a new model and how to connect to the existing model. and how can you create a package, an introduction to LCS, how can you migrate your AX22 code into the D365 code by using LCS, how to set up your server architecture and menus, how can you create a new menu. In Visual Studio, you have a D365 Finance and Operations menu. How can you access and what are the different options available in that menu? I will explain. And classes, view, data types, primitive data types, base enums, extended data types, and data model like tables, views, queries, basic data entities, composite data entities, aggregated data entities. How can you create these aggregate data entities? Will be used in the BI reporting, Power BI reporting. How can we use that? And we have maps concept, and then code, object-oriented programming, and how this object-oriented related to this D365 runnable classes. What are the new keywords available in D365? The way of handling classes and exception handling. Exception handling in the sense error management. What are the different things available in exception handling, and how can you manage that by using try catch flags and macros and user interface like forms. How can you create a new form? How will you change the existing form? And different form patterns we have available. Okay. .NET, Java and all, we will use the HTML, right? HTML, JavaScript and all. Here you don't need to use any scripting or anything. Just you can simply drag and drop. This pattern will take care. So based on the form look and feel, what type of form you require, you need to select that pattern. Based on that, you simply that pattern will require the different things. You'll simply drag and drop those things. It will automatically create the form for you. You'll have tiles, concept, menus, menu items, and all. I will explain. That is the other interface related. And coming to the reporting side, you'll have the SSRS, Power BI integration, label handling, workflows, and configurations. Workflow in the sense, for example, you have expense management. Your manager is there, you are spending some amount, and you need to reimburse that expenses from your company. Okay, before paying by accounting people, somebody from your management team has to approve it. So their workflows will be whatever the expense you create, it will go to the your manager for approval, and once manager approves, it will go to the accounting team and they will pay it. That type of we have a lot of things in the workflows. That is one simple example. And configuration keys will be there. How can you create and all that I will explain. And we have references concept. Extended data security concept. How can you create the extended data security, roles, duties, privileges for giving permissions to the specific forms, reports, and all? I will explain here. And coming to the customizations, how can you create an extension? In the AX2012, that is different concept. You will directly change the existing class. But here it is in D365, it is not possible to change the direct existing class. You need to create an extension. On top of that, you need to add your customizations. How can you create those extensions? Overlaying concept. What is the difference between overlaying and extensions? And base enum extension. These are the different objects available, and for each object, how can you create an extension? I will explain. And coming to the services, we can create our own services, and we can expose the data to the third-party systems by creating the services. How can we create the services? And we have inbuilt-in OData services by creating the data entities. So how can you create the data entities, and how can you use the existing data entities, and how can you expose these entities to the third party by using OData? And for testing that, we have a Postman tool. By using that Postman tool, how can you connect and all that I will explain. Comparison tool, if you want to compare between the previous version and the current version by using VSTS and all, how can you compare those things that I will explain. Deployment model, moving customizations to production, how will you do, and upgrade from AX2012 to D365. And we have a trace parser tool. This will be used for in the performance things, or for example, if you are getting some error in your production, but you are not able to replicate that error in your EAT environment or in your dev mission. So we can create the trace, and the trace you can use it in your trace parser. How can you use that, and how it will show the different SQL statements or in different classes it is executing background. All those things will be shown up in this trace parser that I will explain. This will be used in our script. Most of the times if you have supporting projects, so those supporting projects what they will use is this trace parser. If there is any bug, it is they're seeing in the production but not able to replicate the same thing in your lower environments, they will use the trace parser to find out the actual class or method which is causing the data. Good. And we have a concept called task recording. By using the task recording, we can create the classes also. How can for testing, unit testing purpose, how can you create those classes and how can you execute those test cases and also build them. This is the topics we are going to cover. Now I am done with the things what I'm going to cover in the next 45 or 50 classes. It will be 45 to 50 days. It will cover. Now it is open to question and answers. So people can ask their questions.
Yeah, yes, Ram. Thanks for the demo. Uh, it was a nice explanation. I have few doubts. Can I ask, Ram?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, sure.
sure, sure.
So,
It's open for all.
yeah, yeah. Thank you very much, Ram. So, my questions are like, uh, is the course material like any PDFs or course material or recordings of the sessions will be available for us for the reference?
Recordings will be available. Material, we
Okay.
don't have any specific material kind of thing. I will give you the Microsoft websites where you
Documents.
can
Okay.
find the complete details. You can learn those, and by learning those things, so you can complete your certification as well.
Oh,
Microsoft
yes.
side will have the certifications. I
Correct.
will give those links. Okay, we'll have the doc site. By using that site, you can learn it and you can complete your certification.
Sure, Ram. Thank you. And
Can we download the videos? I mean recordings?
Download is not possible. They will provide you the teachable site. There you
Okay.
can. That will be available. I think that is a lifetime. They will give the access.
Okay.
Anytime if you want, you can access it and see.
Ram, what will be the course timings? Like when it will be in the day?
Timings currently we are thinking like 8:30 to 9:30 p.m.
PM. Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And it will be weekly 5 days. If there is any missing classes or if you have any doubts, we can continue on the Saturday. That's we can take it on the decision on that particular week.
Yeah, sure, Ram. And one more thing, if like while we are practicing the classes or things, if will there be any doubt clearance assistance during the day?
Yes,
Is
yes,
it possible? Okay,
yes, definitely. So what they will do is they will create one WhatsApp group for this particular batch. Okay, I
hmm,
will also be there in that WhatsApp group. If you have any doubts, you can post it in that group, and most of the time, I will try to reply to that, or else at least in couple of hours, I will try to reply.
that's great, Ram. Thank you. Yeah, that's all from my side. Thank you, Ram.
And everyday
Thanks for.
session also, I will give some time to get your doubts clarified, or if you have any issues, you can share your screen and show me so that we can rectify it.
Okay, sure. Thank you, Ram.
Yeah.
Hi Ram.
Hi.
Actually, my doubt is if I'm completely new to the coding part and everything, so will I be able to cope up with you in this session? Because what
What
I'm
is your
asking,
academic background? What is your academic background?
it is easy.
Sorry.
ECE, Electronics and Communication.
At least you have some C language or C++ language. You did.
Not too deep into it. Some basic knowledge.
Well, you know, right? What is if condition? What is for loop and all?
Yes. So
Yeah, you can cope up, but it requires more practice. Whatever the things I am explaining on everyday class, if you practice it on that specific day regularly, definitely you can.
okay, so
Or
somehow
practice
you
is
will be
required.
teaching from the scratch, right? Or you will be just giving the overview of the X++ and you will skip into the.
No, from scratch. See, even if you learn .NET or C Sharp or anything, okay.
Okay.
So this X++ I will explain from the scratch again. So how to declare a variable and what is the if condition, what is the for loop, value and all, I will explain from the scratch.
Okay, great. Yeah.
Sorry,
So
Ram. I have one more question. Yeah, please continue, Roshan. Sorry.
yeah, actually, in a technical point of view, what a technical guy will be doing in his career, you'll be completely covering those topics, right? Like,
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. Thanks.
But practice is required. So if you practice it daily basis, it will be good. Don't wait till the course completion. We can do it later. That type of things will not work. If you practice it on the specific day, if you face some issues or something, you can immediately get it rectified on the next class, right? So
Yes,
don't
yes.
wait. It is not for only you. It is for all. If you practice on daily basis, whatever the things completed on that particular day, so definitely you can cope up in quickly.
Yeah, got it. Yeah.
Yes, Ram. I have one question.
Yeah,
Like,
fine. Yeah,
will there be any placement assistance, Ram? Like, after this course?
placement
Uh,
assistance. I think Visualpath can mm, pitch in, but from my side, I can help you on the interview questions and all, how to prepare, and those things I can guide you.
okay.
How to pass the interview, what are the different. While explaining the topics itself, I will tell you what type of questions you will get it in that particular topic. So in normal live scenarios, how will you face these issues and all.
Yeah. Yes, Ram. Is there anyone from Visual Path in this meeting?
Mm,
Because actually we
mm,
expect job assistance, right? Like from the consultancy.
yeah,
So
Java assistance in the sense, see, how can you face the interview and all
yeah. That part
by
you will.
completing this course, that part will be covered. But
Okay.
they can, even they also will not be directly put you, sit you on the company, right?
Correct.
But
Correct. Correct.
how to
Yeah,
face
I
interview and
understand.
all.
Yeah. Hello, Ram. Good morning. Yeah, my
Good
question
morning.
is also same. I'm just for the job assistance because I am experienced in AX and I have
Okay.
1 year of experience in D365 FNO. But because of
Okay.
shifting from one place to another place, I left my job. So again, I want to brush up my knowledge and I need a job assistance. And this, how long
Yeah,
is
job
the
assistance in the
training?
sense
This training period?
training will be 45 to 50 days.
I didn't get you. What?
45 to 50 days. It will come under
Okay, okay, 50
2 months.
days. Okay,
You can
so
say
they
2 months
will
you can
provide
say.
the
Okay.
certificate.
Provide, but which certificate you are looking for? Core certificate or Microsoft certificate you are looking for?
Course.
A core certificate they will provide, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
You'll have number, right? You can contact that number and you can ask. Yeah, definitely, core certificate they will provide, but as a general scenario, I'm saying that these core certificates will not work out, right? Anyway, they will take the interview and based on that
Yeah,
only they will.
yeah, I understood that. I understood. Yes. Okay.
Instead of this core certificate, if you do the Microsoft certification, that will help.
Okay.
That I will
So,
guide. That
okay,
I will
okay,
guide what type of certification you can take and where you can take. That I will guide.
okay, okay. Thank you. That's it.
Yeah. And even from my side also, if there is any like vacancies in some company, if I know from my friends or some colleagues or something, I will post in the WhatsApp group so that you people can go to the interviews and all.
Sure. Thank you very much, Ram.
Ram is mm, Ram. Any provide the material for this course?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Material, I will give you the Microsoft sites. You can go, you can use those sites for learning purpose. We are not see even if I prepare the material also, it will be from the Microsoft site only, right? It is not like some
Okay.
story or something. So it is a technical thing. So everything will be covered in the Microsoft Docs site. I will provide those here also. Along with that, whatever I am explaining every day, that will be recorded and placed in one place, and that access will be provided to you people. So you can access anytime if you want to go through it again, and you can learn.
Okay. Ram, one more question. You are working in Hyderabad or Bangalore?
Hyderabad only.
Sorry, Hyderabad.
Hyderabad only. Hyderabad only.
I think you are from Hyderabad, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Feel free to ask if you have anything. It can be a small thing or big thing. That should be fine. Related to the technical, if you want to ask, you can ask it. Okay, if there are no questions, I will wrap up this demo. Thanks everyone for joining. Thanks for your time, and looking forward to see you all in my sessions. Have a good
Thank
day.
you, Ram. Have a nice day. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.